Joey and I have been hitting the links for some time now. And I'm proud to say that, oh yeah, that's me there on the right talking to you here, that I've been fortunate enough to step in as a coach for Joe. And I want to give Joe everything that he needs to become the best player and get the most out of his game that he can get. Now, initially we talked about breaking 90 as a goal, something that's in his sight, and obviously improving on hitting the golf ball. So it's nice. Joe comes actually early to his tee times, comes over and hits a couple golf balls and gets loose, and then we take it out to the first tee. So here we are on the first tee, and today's going to be a lot of, from a coaching standpoint, a little bit of inventory. I want to see how Joe approaches his drives. I want to see how he hits his second shots, and just get an overall assessment of where he's at and help him get to where he wants to go. We have a little bit of work ahead of us, but that's what it takes to become an absolute legend. Here we are at about 140 yards after we got out of the trouble. You'll note as the round goes on that we spend a significant amount of time getting out of trouble from off the tee. This is something that I like to work with Joe on that I think will tremendously increase his ability to play golf and eliminate mistakes. We're going to take a note on his putting. How are his speeds? How is he from long distance? How is he from 6 to 8 feet? How is he within that? And the goal as a coach is to not overcomplicate this process. We can only work on one thing at a time. I see a lot of amateurs out there that are going and trying to do too much with one session. Focus your efforts on one thing, whether that's hitting your driver a little farther, sharpening up your short game, being able to hit different shots around the green, being able to shape the ball. Wherever you are with your game, work on that one thing that will get you to the next level and put them down brick by brick by brick. Here we are again on the second hole, and we're a little bit right, but you'll see the next coming shots, we are just going to trickle up the right side, and you'll see how many shots Joe actually loses just by being in this position in the first place. I really like how Joe's short game is around the green with these flop shots. He hit probably 2 shots just like this one that he was able to get very close to the flag, and I'm actually very happy about that game, and he seems very confident when he talks about it, so it doesn't seem like much to address. Here we are again on the third hole. Now that's 3 holes in a row that we've gotten in trouble with the driver. 2 different shot shapes. 2 of them were hooks, and one was a little push fade that actually wasn't too bad. It was actually struck solid. And here we are. We have 123 yards up the hill. Joey Bag of Donuts. Let's see what he's got. Here it is in the air, tracking at the flag. Play on, playa. Right on the front of the green. Beautiful golf shot. Back in play and on the green. One thing I truly admire about Joe is that he has a very carefree attitude out on the golf course, and I mean that in such a great way because he doesn't let a bad shot affect him. You'll see on this drive, this whole fairway slopes right to left, and we hit the left side and it goes into the left rough and then some, and he's still hanging in there. And this has only been one shot, one specific shot in the golf bag that is consistent, that has gotten us in trouble on the first 4 holes. Now this is a very interesting shot that Joe hits here. I want you to watch his footwork afterwards. This was probably Joe's least favorite shot of the day. He hit a club that he wasn't ready to hit, kind of falls back on it. You'll see it kind of scurry into the woods, but you'll see how he adjusted his feet. Joe, I notice, has this little tendency to fall back on his irons and his full swing, and it's definitely something to take a look at in the future. Yeah, get that stick out of there. Make room for the playa. A nice recovery shot on the front of the green. And one of Joey's best shots of the day. A beautiful 2-putt from Joe. 45 feet or so to get a 2-putt. Very well done. And here we have Joey on the 5th tee box. We have 150 yards to an elevated green front hole location today. Bunkers left. We've got a 7-iron in hand. Struck beautifully with a nice little draw. This is when Joe hits some of his best shots, or that nice little draw. You'll also notice that he falls back on his feet. And as a student, he mentioned the word balance several times. So that's definitely something that will resonate with Joe as we go to improve in the future. Here's Joe with his short little approach, a little past the flag, but he struck it well, a nice trajectory, and I'm very happy about the result. He seems to do very well with those short shots, and nothing to add there. This is that second miss that Joe has. It's either a push draw or a push fade, and this one actually goes out to the right. We got in a little bit of trouble on this one. His alignment is over there. Definitely going to take a look at the driver swing. The driver has gotten us in trouble on 5 out of 6 holes so far, minus the par 3. So definitely something to take a look at. It's okay. Joey maintains his cool, gets greenside, gets the club under the ball, just flies it onto the green. A really good shot for an amateur. Someone who's shooting above 100 is really going to struggle with that shot generally, but Joey hits the ball very well greenside with his wedges. Very strong part of his game that I'd encourage him to double down on for sure. And now here we are on the 7th hole, and we're going to take hybrid off the tee. This is the first time that Joe pulled hybrid out. He said he was pretty confident with it and wanted to hit this one off the tee and actually hit one of his best drives of the day. Beautiful little draw, still falling back on that swing, and definitely going to take a look at that. Here's our third chance to look at Joe with a lag putt. Not going to worry too much about the first green where he hit it a little far by. The second time he lag putted was really well, so this will be a nice tell to see how his speed is. A little bit short, was coming up the hill. But don't worry, players never miss the second putt. Oh, dang it. Joe, you're making me look bad. I'm the coach here. And here we are from 137 yards. Joey's got an 8-iron here. Last par 3, we hit a beautiful golf shot. Let's see what we got here. Another superbly struck iron. Nice little draw at the left side of the green. I want you to note again that he falls back on that a little bit. So there's definitely a mechanical component that we can address, but never on the golf course. That's not going to get us to where we need to go. It's not the focus that we need right now. There's a time to work on your swing, and then there's a time to work on scoring and getting the ball in the hole. This is the time to get the ball in the hole. And here we are on the last tee shot here, the 9th hole. So we have had a lot of drives that have gotten us in trouble. This is a pretty wide open tee shot. And Joey actually hits his best drive of the day with the driver. An absolute peach. Nice balanced swing, beautiful finish, Joe. Hold it for the cameras. Yes. Here we are from 150 yards for Joe. I want us to note as well that we are in the rough, and several times out of the rough today, Joe has done a shot like this where it goes straight left, and there wasn't much control in the iron shots. This got us into a little bit of trouble. We unfortunately hit a little limb here. All right, team, so it's Joey's goal here to break 90. We ended up shooting a 16 over today, which is a 52. Double that will be 104. We wasted 10 shots on this 9 simply pitching out of the woods. If I'm Joe, I'm calling my man Matt, and we're heading straight to the range to get that driver all squared up and come up with a new swing thought, a new process, and a new commitment. If we can get rid of that, we're immediately knocking 10 shots off per 9. That's huge. That's the only thing that Joe needs to focus on here to revolutionize his game. So go out there and take some inventory on where you're hitting the ball what shots are getting you in trouble and what's accounting for the greatest percentage of your shots. Joe hit his short game extremely well today. Putting, we could certainly sharpen up and do a couple drills to get our speed down and hopefully making a couple more 8-footers. But Joe's got some great game for where he's at. His short game is absolutely outstanding, and we'll be after it again. So be sure to stay tuned for Joey's journey to becoming an absolute legend.